Hi, George here, and I'm going to be showing you how you can make money on Redbubble by using ChatGPT, which is a great artificial intelligence site, to get some new, fresh ideas for text-based t-shirts. Okay, the first thing we need to do is to do some keyword and trend research, and we'll do that up here on a site called BubbleSpider. It's a free tool, and down here, this is the popular Redbubble keywords. Now, you need to do a couple of settings in here. Most of the stuff I wouldn't even bother with. For instance, funny has 12 million competition. Wouldn't even go anywhere near this thing. But we can adjust that by coming down here on this little trend thing. Left side is trends going down, right side's trends going up. And also over here, trademark score. Safe for trademark, but not necessarily. I'll talk about that in just a minute. Maybe and no trademark. I'm going to uncheck those, get rid of that stuff. That gets rid of things that have a possible trademark problem on them. We still need to check though. And down here, max competition. Let's start over here with the trends. I'm going to pull the left side up. Notice that the trend number is getting smaller up here. I want to bring this up until they're just below about 200. That's pretty good. And then on the plus side, I'm going to bring this down a bit as well. We don't need to have that many in here. If things are too trending, there's going to be too much competition for you. So you want to get a good balance on the competition by bringing down how trendy it is. And you'll need to have a reasonably good amount of trends to be able to have some good options in here. If too much, and you're going to have too much competition. Okay, on the next competition, let's bring this down as well. I'm going to bring it down below about 2,000. That's doable, but it's still difficult. If you get it down real low, you're much better off. The lower that number is, the better off, the better chances are of actually being seen on Redbubble. But so bring it down a ways. We'll look at the 2,000. Now this gives us a bunch of ideas in here, a bunch of keywords such as I wish it were colder, which is a t-shirt. You can see right here, t-shirts. Now, some of these things, if it's somebody's name, just stay away from that. That's going to be a problem with copyright and trademarks. We used to live here. Here's a possible one. Looks like it's trademark free. It's going up on its trend in here. There's not that much competition. So let's double check this. I'll just grab this, select that, right click and copy. And let's go over here to Google and let's just type this in, right click and paste. Hit the search, and what you're looking for is anything which looks like it's copyrighted. Like right here, we used to live there, art print for sale, but that's on Redbubble. So that looks like that's okay. Society 6 is like Redbubble. That looks like that's okay. There's a lot of different ones in here. iCanvas. So it looks like this is not copyrighted. Other people are still doing images about this one. So that's a pretty good one, pretty safe one. When you find something which is good, you can do a t-shirt based on this. Right click, let's just copy this. And I'll stick this into a notepad right here. Let's just paste that in. And now let's see if we can get any other ideas around this by using ChatGPT. And that's right here. This is a free tool. You'll need to make an account, but the account is free. And this is at openai.com blog ChatGPT right there. I'll put this link in the description so you can go ahead and just go right to this page. Let's try ChatGPT. Now this may get a little bit of a cost later on. Right now it's completely free. And all you do is type in what you want down here. Now type it in as a regular sentence, as if you're talking to somebody or asking an expert for this information. Now I already have our phrase, which is right here. I'm going to put the phrase in quotation marks. There we go. And let's just type something in here. Like this, show me 20 funny lines, including we used to live here. Hit the enter key, and then the artificial intelligence is going to go through and try to think things out. And you can get some ideas in here of things that may be fun to add to this. Now, if it's too long, obviously it's not going to work out well for a t-shirt. We want to have something fairly short. We may get some ideas in here. Let's just see how this goes. I'll let it finish up and do the full 20 on this. There we go. There's some funny ones in here. We used to live here, but the building was so old it had a pet dinosaur. I like that one. We can see if we can make these things shorter, condense them down. Like up here, we used to live there, but the rent was cheaper in my friend's tree house. It could be, we used to live here, but it was cheaper in a tree house. Things like that. Let's go ahead, we'll do that one. So that gives us that first line, which has a good search potential for Redbubble, and it's trending, but it has something different or additional to that, which may make it a more interesting t-shirt. Let's just copy this one down, copy, go back to Notepad. I'll paste that in, and we'll just shorten this down just a little bit, like that. Let's see if we can get this better. Let's do, but the treehouse was cheaper. And that's pretty good. That's short enough. And there we go. We now have a title based on this. This is a trending topic, of course, from BubbleSpider. We know it's trending, which means there's popularity there. There's people looking at this. They're searching for this. And by using ChatGPT, we found some additional ideas in here and then brought that down to some kind of an interesting little slogan. Okay, let's now see how we can take this and turn it into a t-shirt design. I'm just going to select this, right-click, copy. Let's go up here to Canva, my favorite spot for doing this. I'm going to stay away here from the templates. Let's go right here. It just says print products. Let's click on this and we'll go over here and see if we have t-shirts on this list. There we go. There's our t-shirts. And here's our basic t-shirt layout. Left-hand side, you can see some ideas. Here's an idea right here. Now, you want to make sure that you're using free ideas unless you've paid for a membership. Now, the membership is not that expensive and it's well worth it if you begin doing this at all professionally or want to pursue it as a career. Then I recommend getting the pro version of this. I have a link for that in the description if you want to take a look at that. Right now, we're sticking with the free version. Let's just take this. There's a lot of words on that. I think that is good. And we can just select all this text and then paste in our text. It actually fits pretty nicely here. We used to live there, but the treehouse was cheaper. So that's pretty good. Let's see if we can adjust this a little bit. Let's just select our text in here and see we have text-wise. I want to have something that's pretty thick. You know, thick text looks better than thin text when you're talking about t-shirt or sticker designs. Let's just scroll down. I like it being italic or script, but I want it fairly heavy. Looking for the things that have a good darkness to them over here, left-hand side. And we'll try a few of these and see how they look. That's not too bad. Now, t-shirts work best on a black background. So what I want to have here is white type on this. I'll leave the little symbol down here, although we could choose something else, but I'll just leave that. If you want to change that, there's lots of options over here. We're here to elements. Lots of things in here. You know, smiley face in there. Different ideas down below here. So there's a lot of things you can try if you wanted to just change what that is. Now, normally this will look best on a black t-shirt, so you want to have white type. Let me show you how you can do that. You can't do that here in the free version. You can do this in the pro version. The problem is here that you cannot remove the background in the free version and have a transparent background. One of the reasons to go for the pro version. But we can take out that background easily enough over in any editing program. So let's take a look at that. So we have our basic layout in here. Let's go up here to share. Let's come down to download. Download as a PNG. We also can't change the size. That's too small for a t-shirt. It needs to be about twice that size. You can't change the size inside of Canva on the free version. Again, another reason to go for the pro version, but we can change that over in an editing program. Okay, that's all good. Let's choose download. Okay, this is saying that the heart is a premium image, so let's just delete that. We don't actually need that. Okay, back over here and download. And there we go. Now it's downloading just fine. Here's some samples I used from my header for my Redbubble channel. We'll download it right here. Choose save. And there we go. Okay, let's now open this up inside of a graphics program. I like to use Photoshop Elements, but any graphics program is fine. Whatever you like using is great. There we go. And notice how this comes in as just one layer here. There's no separation. I need to remove that background. What we'll do here is a couple steps. First, I want to increase the size of this. So let's go up here to Image, come down to Resize and Image Size. And a good resolution down here is 300 pixels per inch. We'll start off with that. And then up here, let's change this to 4400, which is pretty close. That's a pretty good size for a t-shirt. This should work out fine for us, for t-shirts or for stickers. And then down here, we're going to resample the image. That's correct. And I want to set this at best for enlargement. Choose OK. There we go. It looks good. The edges look good. Let's now shrink this down to fit screen. And there we go. That's the first bit. It's now resized properly. Let's now remove the background on this. And I like doing this in 2 steps. Whenever I do anything here in any program, I always make a copy of my layer, duplicate layer like that. And I had the original just in case I mess things up. I can always go back to that original as a safety. Let's now grab the magic wand. I have my tolerance here set at 20, which is pretty good. I'm going to uncheck contiguous. I just want to grab all the white in the whole picture like that. Let's invert this. Select and inverse. So just the black text is selected now. Now on some programs at this point, you would just hit the delete key. You would get rid of that. I happen to like using layer masks. So I hit the layer mask button right there. and it removes that background. Okay, let's now zoom in on this thing and see what we have on the edges. It's like there's just a little thin edge around that, a little bit of a grayness. If I bring on a black background, you can see what that is. Let's just come down here and I'll put in a new layer, and I'll fill that new layer with black. You see there's a little thin outline on that. Now there are a lot of ways to get rid of this, but I'm gonna do a little cheat on this one. The first thing I want to do is I want to reverse the colors, and I want this to be white lettering on a black background. So let's go up here to Filter. I'm going to do Adjustments and Invert. Most programs have something like this where you can actually invert that. And to hide that little thin outline, I'm going to add a thicker outline to it. This will also make it look better on stickers and on magnets, things like that. So we can make that a bit better. So here inside of Photoshop Elements, it's Layer Style, Style Settings, and Stroke. And it's black. I'm just going to bring it up until you have a pretty nice looking outline. Just like that. I think that looks pretty good. Choose OK. And there we go. We've now cleaned that up. And there's our t-shirt design. Do File, Save. It'll save as the Photoshop Elements format in this program. And then for putting it up onto Redbubble, you want to have this as a PNG. So I'll do a File, Save As, and we'll just save this as PNG, which is right there. And I'll change the name here to t-shirt just so it doesn't overwrite my original one, and save. And there we go. And we're all set then to add this onto our Redbubble channel. Now, if you want to see how that whole process is done, putting images onto t-shirts in Redbubble, putting up in the Redbubble store, and I'll put a link for my video right here on the screen on how to do that part of the process. If you like this video, hit that like button, click share, click subscribe, and I'll see you next time.